Hey everybody, it's Miss Kalanicki. Alright, so I'm going to start this lesson. We're going to go rather quickly, so if you need to pause it at any time. Homework was due today, but since I'm not here, I will be checking it first thing tomorrow morning, so make sure it is done. Homework number 70, I believe. Alright, here we go. So we are reviewing from the past 2 days. So from Friday and Thursday, we're reviewing independent and dependent compound events. How you can tell the difference. We've talked about on Friday not replacing an item. That would make the probabilities dependent compared to if I just replaced an item, or if I have two totally separate events like rolling a die and flipping a coin. Those are independent events. So I'm just going to add just two more notes to that. This one I'm going to say that one does not affect the other. And the other note I'm going to add is choosing one affects what you can pick next time. So think about those socks we did on Friday. If I have, so many black socks, but then I pick one of them, then there's one less black sock to pick next time. Same thing with your names in the jar. If I pick out someone's name, everyone else has a better chance of getting picked next time. So those depend on who I picked the first time. Okay, so two quick questions. Just, are these events independent or dependent? You can pause the video, do it with a partner, come back, give you guys like a minute or two to do that, and then come back. I want you to decide if it's independent or dependent and explain why. All right, hope you pause the video. I'm going over these. All right, here we go. So I'm rolling a 4 on a number cube, and then I roll an even number on a different number cube. These events are independent because there are two separate number cubes, and one does not affect the other. So again, rolling a die, rolling another die, again, it's not going to affect each other. Getting a 1 on the first number cube doesn't mean I can't get a 1 on the second number cube, because I could. All right, you randomly draw a lane. This is for like track and field people. You randomly draw a lane to run in for a race. Then your friend randomly draws a lane number for the same race. Question is, can you get the same lane twice? Well, no, because everyone's got to run in their own lane. So this would be considered dependent, because once you get a lane number, your friend cannot get the same lane number. So think about that. Once you are running in one lane, lane number 1, let's say, your friend can't run in lane number 1 either. You'll crash into each other. All right, so let's talk about the example at the bottom, and then I will have you guys do some examples by yourself on the back. So this one we're going to do together. The back you guys are going to do by yourself. You spin a spinner and flip a coin. So this is a lot easier to see. I know on your handout it's a little dark. So there are numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the handout. So you spin a spinner and you flip a coin. The only thing I don't see here is something with a coin. So I may want to, just like we've been doing, you may want to write the two things that can happen when I flip a coin. So here's my coin. I can get a heads or a tails. There you go. And then, so now I have a picture that shows everything that could happen while I'm doing this. So I'm going to spin the spinner and I'm going to flip the coin. And I want you to find the probability of this compound event. So if I am doing two things in my probability, I need two separate fractions. So I'm going to do a fraction for spinning a 3, and I'm going to do fraction for flipping a heads. So what is my probability of spinning a 3? Well, there is 1 3 on the whole spinner out of possible options. Now flipping a heads. Well, there's only one head on the coin out of 2 possible options. And again, we talked about what we do when we have these two fractions and I want both of them to happen. I'm going to times these two together. And again, do not simplify unless it specifically says so, or it's a multiple choice question. So I'd leave this, but this is simplified. Okay. I'm going to do the next one with you, and then I want you to do 5 and 6 with a partner. And Miss Freifelder, the sub, can pick your partners for you. Spinning an even number, okay? Even numbers we talked about, and if you're not sure, go back and look at your notes. An even number is a 2 or a 4 or a 6 or an 8, so on and so forth. Those are even. They're even because they divide evenly. I can share 2 cookies evenly between 2 people. All right, so even numbers. There are 2 of them. 2 out of 4. And flipping a tails, there's 1 tail out of 2. Final answer, 2 out of 8. All right, so right now, pause the video. Try these 2 ones with a partner. Come back, and we'll go over them together. All right, so spinning a number greater than 1. I look at these and say, how many of these are greater than 1? Well, not 1, but 2 is, 3 is, 4 is. So that's 3 out of 4. Flipping a tails, again, only 1 tail, so 1 out of 2. There's my answer. And the last one, not spinning a 2. All right, I'm going to erase my check marks. Not getting a 2. We talked about this when we did the marbles, not a blue marble. So if I don't want to get a 2, then I can get everything else. That's also 3 out of 4. Flipping a heads is 1 head out of 2 possible options. Final answer of 3/8. Now, follow-up question to this. Are these 2 things happening independent events or dependent events? Are they independent of each other, or does one depend on the other one? Your answer should be they are, because one does not depend on the other. All right. I want you to now try on the back. I'm going to read the situation. Listen carefully. It says I'm going to randomly choose one of these tiles without replacing it. That's important. Without replacing the first tile, it should say first tile, you choose a second tile. Find the probability of the compound events. Okay, so again, my job is to close my eyes and pick one randomly, and then I'm going to leave it on the side, or in this case, what we used to do is on Fridays, we covered it up. So I'm going to get my little square out to cover it up. Cover it up with your finger, and then I'm going to choose the next one. So try these, pause the video, and I'll come back when you're ready to go over them. All right, so the first one says choosing a 5, then a 6. So I'm going to start with the 5 first. Choosing a 5. There's 1 5. Out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out of 7 numbers. So after I choose that 5, my 5 does not get replaced. So I'm going to cover up the 5 right here. Here we go. Now it's asking, okay, what's my chance of getting a 6? Okay, well there's 1 6, but now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's only 6 numbers. And I'm going to multiply these 2 together to get 1 out of 42. The next one. Again, every time we do a new question, if it's the same picture, we're going to reset the picture. All right, choosing an odd number. All right, we just talked about evens, so the odd numbers are 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, ... The only number I haven't mentioned yet is 20. Is 20 even or odd? Okay, good. It's even because you can split it in half. It's divisible by 2. All right, so an odd number. Which one of these are odd? 1 of these, 2 of these. This one's odd. These rest are even. So 3 out of the 7. So now I'm going to pick an odd number. All right, well, it doesn't really matter which one I pick, so up to you. I'm going to go with 9. I took 9. I picked one of the odd numbers. Now I want to pick a 20. What's my chance of picking 20? Well, one left, only 120 out of the 6 remaining tiles. Final answer, 3 out of 42. Okay, reset the problem. Erase my little marks. There we go. All right, next one says choosing a number less than 7. Okay, numbers that are less than 7, not 20, not 10, not 8. 6 is less than 7, 5 is less than 7, that's it. 2 out of 7. All right, so now I'm going to randomly pick one of those numbers. Let's go with 6. I haven't picked him yet. So I picked him. And now it says a multiple of 4. What does that mean? Think about, it's kind of like saying the numbers that I get when I multiply by 4. So think of your times tables. 4, what would the next one be? 4 times 1, 4 times 2 is, 4 times 3 is, 4 times 4 is, 4 times 5 is, and that's the highest number I have, so I can stop. All right, so now, how many of these numbers are in this group up here? 8 is, and 20 is. So that's another 2, but this time, again, only out of 6 numbers. Final answer, 4 out of 42. You can reduce it, but I'm telling you right now, unless it says to, don't waste your time. All right, reset the question again. Choosing 2 even numbers. All right, so an even number. These were my odd ones, if you remember. So my even ones are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So, even, 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 even. Okay, there are 4 even numbers out of 7 altogether. Now again, assuming I chose one, because I took one without replacing it. So let's pick 10. Now, how many even numbers are left for me to pick the second time? Okay, there are 3 left out of 6. Final answer, 12 out of 42. All right, hope you're doing okay with these. If you're not, pause, have someone help you, explain it to you. There are 2 sections left, this one question and this question, which deals with, again, a spinner and a die. So try the next 2 by yourself. This is your last opportunity to check these out by yourself, so do them by yourself, see if you can do them. Again, I'm going to read this very carefully for you. At a carnival game, you randomly throw 2 darts at this board. And again, your paper doesn't have the color, so look up at the board. But you can see the letters, but I think it's easier to look at the board. So if you need the board, look at the board. You randomly throw 2 darts at the board and break 2 balloons. What is the probability that both of the balloons you break are purple? So what is the probability that you break 2 purple balloons? I want 2 purple ones. Okay. And the second question says, I'm going to roll this die and spin this spinner. And here are what the probabilities I want. What is the probability of getting a 1 on the die and an A on the spinner? What's the probability of getting an odd number on the die and a B on the spinner? And the third thing we did not talk about yet is what is called a composite number. So I will pause. When you get to that one, we'll take some notes down about what a prime number is versus what a composite number is. They're opposites of each other. All right, pause the video, try these questions, come back. All right, so at a carnival, I'm throwing darts at the board. I'm going to do each purple one separate. So when I want to get my first purple one, my chance of getting a purple one is, well, there are 4 purple ones on the board out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, out of 15 balloons. Now, what happens when I throw the dart, though? My balloon is going to pop. So there will no longer be that purple balloon because I just popped it. So now I need to do another purple balloon. What's my chance of getting it a second time? Well, now there's only 3 to pop out of only 14 balloons. Final answer, 12 out of, let's get my calculator going here. Actually, I think I have the answer key. Yeah, 12 out of, I didn't write that on my answer key. Ooh, 210, wow, big number. Again, do not reduce unless it says to reduce. So my probability is 12 out of 210. Not really that probable. Probably not going to happen. All right, here's my final one. I'm doing each one separately. Getting a 1 on this die, there's 1 out of 6 total. There is an A, there is 1A out of 4 possibilities for a final probability of 1 out of 24. Now, again, we talked about odd numbers. If you don't remember, look at the top of your notes because we wrote them down. Odd numbers are 1, 3, 5 on this die. So there are 3 odd numbers out of 6. Again, if you need to write the numbers down from the die, go ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are all the numbers that could happen on your die. So my odd ones are 1 and 3 and 5. Times getting a B. Again, 1 out of 4. There's only 1 B out of 4 possibilities. Final probability of 3 out of 24. Now, let's talk about this. And if you have your homework sheet, on the back there is a note sheet. You definitely want to write this down. So there is something called prime numbers. Prime numbers are ones that have 2 factors, meaning there are only 2 numbers that I can multiply together to get that number. So for example, 2 is a prime number. The only way to multiply and get 2 is timesing 1 times 2. That's it. There's another number on my die that also is prime. That's a 3. The only way to multiply and get 3 is 1 times 3. That's it. What about 4? Well, I can do 1 times 4, but I could also do 2 times 2. So that's what makes 4 a composite number. 5 is prime because the only way to multiply and get 5 is 1 times 5. What about 6? Well, 6 is also composite because I can multiply to get 6. I could do 1 times 6. I could also do 2 times 3 to get 6. So that because there are 2 ways to do it, and 6 has 1, 2, 3, 4 factors, that's why 6 is a composite number. But the only way to get 5 is to do 1 times 5. Now, notice I left a number out. I left 1 out. 1, and you can write this in your notes too, 1 is neither, I'm going to type it actually because my handwriting is getting a little crazy on this. 1 is neither prime nor composite. It's neither one. It's unique in its own way because 1 has exactly 1 factor. That's it. 1 has 1 factor. 1 times 1 is 1. That's it. So you notice that 5 has 2 separate numbers that are their factors. A 1 and a 5. But 1 is just 1 times 1. So 1 is neither prime nor composite. But I just wrote you the definitions. I gave you the examples of prime numbers and composite numbers. So now that you know what the composite numbers are, my composite numbers are 4 and 6. So what's my chance of getting one of those? That would be 2 out of 6. And getting a C on my spinner, 1 out of 4. Final answer, 2 out of 24. So your worksheet shouldn't be too messy because this stuff should be on your note sheet, which is on the back of your homework. There are extras in the absent folder if you need it. If it's time and you guys have enough time, do the prize link. Hopefully you earned all 3 of your numbers. Hopefully. If not, hopefully you'll remember to do better tomorrow. All right, guys, have a great day. I'll see you soon. Bye.